Yeah, for it.
Suprema, Suprema roll call. Suprema, Suprema roll call. Suprema, Suprema roll call. Suprema,
You gotta sing them here.
Suprema roll call.
Questlove's my name.
Yeah.
Supreme's the squad.
Yeah.
Salli Richardson.
Yeah. Roll call.
Suprema.
Suprema roll call. Suprema, Suprema roll call.
My name is Fonte.
Yeah.
And I'm in my prime.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sally.
Yeah.
We need some more winning time.
Roll call.
Bring back
Suprema roll call. Suprema, Suprema roll call.
My name is Sugar.
Yeah.
And we in Cali.
Yeah.
And I am so glad
Yeah.
that rhymes with Sally.
Suprema.
Did you just make that up on the spot?
Suprema
Last
roll
week.
call.
Go for weeks.
Suprema roll call.
I'm unpaid bill.
Yeah.
And hold the phone.
Yeah.
Shout out to our guest.
Yeah.
And her tailbone.
Suprema roll call. Suprema.
Had that one for weeks too.
Suprema roll call.
It's Laia.
Yeah.
Sally's here to teach.
Yeah.
If I was damn.
Yeah.
This is a first.
Roll call.
Suprema. Nice tipping.
Suprema roll call. Suprema. Suprema roll call.
My name is Sally.
Yeah.
They call me Mustang.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah.
You got that thing? Good tip in the
Suprema roll call. Suprema Suprema roll call. Suprema Suprema roll call.
Don't feel bad. I've done that many
Ooh, I
times.
was hoping that was
You're
over
from the
soon.
what?
He's done it.
I've done that before.
Sally's here to teach. I came for class like I got class like Angela and a mouth like Peaches. Damn. That's what it.
Wow. That was where that was?
It was. It was like
Okay.
it was like
Okay.
a class like Angela and a mouth like Peaches.
Anywho.
Let's see.
Sally beat me.
Mama.
So,
Anyway.
So I needed rhythm and rapping. Yeah, we were in trouble.
I'm sorry.
All
I
right,
did
so
that to you.
this is another Los Angeles in-person, in-studio Questlove
I
Supreme.
love in person.
Yeah, in person. It's my favorite type of tapings that we do. I enjoy it. It's amazing. Anything else? I'm looking at you, Bill. Anyway.
Oh, I'm just happy to be here. We never get to do this. We always
Okay.
do this on Zoom.
You're
It's
right.
personal and weird. Now
right.
we get to be with
I
each
love
other.
I love being in person. No, we're here. It's
Sally
Questlove.
Richardson's here.
I know. That's
Listen,
that's
you,
why I'm
you
stuttering.
have to ask Ad Whitfield.
Whitfield. I'm sorry,
or
DeAndre.
I'm gonna go home
Yo,
and
DeAndre, I'm
be
sorry.
in trouble.
Dude,
Sorry.
DeAndre.
Please let me
we
stay
all
married.
collectively
I'm so
decided to call
sorry.
him DeAndre right
It's
now. 'Cause
Don-
We've been calling him Robert.
Don-
It's
Andre.
Don,
Robert.
but it's
Robert.
Dondre.
It's Dondre.
Y'all
Dondre.
are really
Right.
gonna
Dondre. I'm
you're gonna
messing
get
up.
me in trouble.
All right, no, we're
And he
sorry.
would talk us through that
He
whole
will
situation.
talk to you. He will listen.
No, we've been calling him Robert forever.
Uh-oh.
Like, literally.
Nah, for
Yeah.
real.
That's.
I know he probably hates that.
That's
huh?
worse. That's not as bad as DeAndre, though.
Do people call him Robert still from
Yes,
the Cosby? Really?
absolutely, absolutely.
I'm so sorry, Dondre.
We're already getting off to a shaky start. All right, so look, I would say the order of the day for this podcast is we often talk about pivots. Pivots in terms of where we were creatively at the beginning of our career towards where we've decided to. We've learned that idiom from LL Cool J, taking walks to the light, you know. And so I will say that that's a major theme of this program. And, of course, our guest today, I believe, embodies sort of that motion. We first fell in love with her as an actress in many a classic film. I can name like Posse, Low Down Dirty Shame, Eureka.
Shame.
Right.
I have so many questions about that movie.
Antoine Fisher, right,
Antoine
exactly.
Fisher.
I do want these to be the Low Down Dirty tribute program. Not to mention, you know, I Am Legend, just countless of sitcoms and dramas and whatnot, which basically leads to her calling as an executive producer and a director. Sitting in that director's chairs is that's it's mighty a task that isn't for the faint-hearted. And I will say that between her directing on Queen Sugar, one of my favorite programs, by the way.
Thank you.
Not to mention Scandal, Luke Cage.
I forgot about Luke Cage. Wow.
Right.
That was the shit.
Exactly. Blackish, The Shy, so many to mention. Not to mention Winning Time, the story of the classic era of the Los Angeles Lakers, and right now we're celebrating the Gilded Age, and we're going to talk pivots, the art of storytelling, and just her journey creatively. And I would like to welcome to Questlove Supreme, without stuttering, Salli Richardson.
Whitfield.
Well, you looked at me like
And you said,
I gave you that look.
I know. Yeah, like I already felt the pressure.
Get it right.
Yes, no, for real. Please welcome Salli Richardson-Whitfield to Questlove Supreme.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about being here.
Well, I would like to know. Well, for starters, for those that don't know you, where are you from? Where were you born?
I'm from Chicago,
What part of Chicago?
South Side of Chicago.
Is everyone really from the South Side? Between Detroit and Chicago.
If you black, you mostly from the South Side of Chicago.
How
Unless
come
you
no
maybe
black person
West
claims
Side.
the North? Yeah,
Maybe the West Side. You're from the West or the South Side.
So I'm assuming that the
Because-
South is the realest, in quote.
Because it is Chicago, as much as I love it, can be a segregated area. We didn't grow up with, we didn't grow up with a lot of money, and so you're on the South Side of Chicago or the West Side or the projects.
So for you, what was your formative years like, creatively speaking? What was your family situation growing up?
Sort of, parents divorced. I was very lucky that I was able to go, instead of my father paying actual child support directly, he paid for me to go to private school. So I went to lab school, which is part of the University of Chicago. So it was sort of this mixture of going to this fabulous school and then kind of going back to my neighborhood and being able to live in both of those worlds, which has worked very well for me now in life. I can kind of flow anywhere I need to go. And then both of my parents, my father were at University of Chicago. My mother at the time, she used to work, I think my mom was working at the Defender at some point, which is a black newspaper in Chicago. She worked at a recording studio for many years, which
one?
I don't remember the name of it, but that's growing up. I was around a lot of music, so I was singing, and that's kind of where I met my first manager. And I think what sort of sparked me wanting to be in the arts, because I was really not around it at all. And then at some point at the lab school, they shot Endless Love there.
Oh, wow.
And
The Brooke Shields?
Yes. And that is where I really got the bug, because I was always a basketball player in school. So if theater I didn't do a lot of, because it always came in during basketball season. So, but they came there and they did that movie with Brooke Shields, and I saw all of that, and I was like, oh, I don't know, this seems interesting, which has kind of started my path.
Oh, okay. Did you have siblings or?
I have 3 brothers who are about 15 years younger than me. So most of my life I was an only child.
Okay.
Yep.
So you were older than them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I see that. Wait. What?
No, I was just thinking that's like that's interesting for them to have an older sister that was 15 years old.
Yeah, I was ready for you to be the youngest sister that
Me
they
too.
beat up everybody.
No.
But I'm like,
But you were there. I
But
would get
I
my
think-
sister to beat you up.
But I was I don't know if that mixture of only child, but then having really young ones that me and my mom, she was working a lot,
Oh, you
so
babysat.
me and my brother, yeah, that's my baby there.
Oh, okay. I see
Yeah.
that. So default.
Yeah.
Well, quasi parents.
Yeah.
That's
Mom.
I get that now. Yeah. All right. So here's the thing. Like a lot of us that are not in the Midwest, especially now in this political climate, hashtag what about Chicago? What about Chicago? Can you just what is your view or description of your formative years in Chicago? Because oftentimes I feel like, again, especially now, all you do is hear about the bad side of Chicago,
Right.
whatever. is there a rosy memory of Chicago, or is it like I have to get out of Chicago?
Oh no, I had a wonderful time. I love growing up in Chicago, but I had this sort of mosh posh growing up. So I spent a lot of time in Hyde Park, which is around the University of Chicago, which is a very mixed area. So although I'm like this mixed girl, which can not work for you well at times, it was a very mixed area. There was a lot of white and black couples, so it was okay for me. Hung out at the Point, beautiful. Then later on, we moved to 75th Street, which is, like 50 or 61st Street, which we're now moving more and more south. Now we're on 95th Street off of Stony Island. It's a little, it ain't
Real?
It ain't mixed no more.
Right. A little real.
So again, but I don't know. My mother kept me in a bunch of stuff. I'm going to school. I didn't really encounter too much. When I go back and see some of the places I walked around in, I go, I can't believe I was walking down that street to the grocery store. You know, I would always say around 75th and St. Lawrence. People from Chicago will know what I'm saying. That's where you just churches and bars. Church bar. Everything's behind glass in the grocery store. That's when I look back and go, God, I just walked over there to the grocery store. Now, I don't think I would know how to flow through that area anymore the same way. And it's much worse now.
Okay, so that was my next question. Like, has your area been gentrified, or is it still?
No, it's probably worse over there now.
You mentioned manager. I don't know if you were talking about manager then or manager now, but when you spoke of manager, you mean in terms of acting, or like, did you have aspirations to sing at one point?
I did. So when I first started, because of the studio, I played piano. I used to study opera. So I thought when I first went to LA, it was sort of acting and singing. I thought I would do both. There are a lot of demo reels somewhere of me singing.
What's your name?
And I think I shot I shot a video.
Okay.
Wait, what year did you come to LA?
I don't know. I was 25.
Okay.
I don't know. I graduated 85, whatever. So
Better get those real numbers.
look, I don't care. I'm old. Yeah, I thought I was gonna be a singer, or kind of both.
You arrived in LA in 85, 86?
Yeah. During Pebbles, all that time.
Oh,
I was
nice.
like, I could have
Yes.
done it. I could do
That
this.
good light
Free
skin was
hip-hop
in.
too?
Yes.
Free hip hop. Now you fell in the hole now. What I want to know more than anything, like to me
It was a perfect time because I didn't really have to dance well.
Neither did Pebbles.
Pebbles didn't need
Right.
Yeah, right.
It was
I
like
was like, this is good. I can sing. I have no rhythm. I can't dance. And this video, I haven't looked at in a long time because I have like the tape of it. You know, it's in a real
Right.
film. I need to digitize that. I'm a little afraid to see that one.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, okay, what is the spark that prompts your move to Los Angeles? As in, like, okay, in order for me to pursue my dream, and what is your dream that makes you go to Los Angeles?
So I'm doing, at that time, a lot of things were being shot in Chicago. A lot of movies, so I could get little guest spots.
Mm-hmm.
So I did Prelude to a Kiss. I
Right,
played
Meg
one of
Ryan.
Meg Ryan's bridesmaids, so you're getting small things like that. Rocky Carroll, that's where I met Rocky Carroll.
Okay.
Because he was in that movie. And so you see that you can get small things, but you can't really, that's it. And then I did a screen test for, what is that Bill Duke movie he directed with Robin Gibbons?
Harlem.
Raging Harlem.
Raging
Raging Harlem. So I screen test for that.
For the Robin Givens role.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was there. It was me, Robin, and this
see that.
other actress. And I just knew, like I did it in the makeup art. This is when don't listen to no, but this is when I learned never get too excited. More than likely you didn't get it or it's not going to be big. And
Acting
I just
101.
knew I did it and I was cute and I thought I had my little southern accent. I was ready. And I did not get it. Robin, well, that's when you find out Robin Gibbons is sort of
popular.
famed. She's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
popular.
Head of the
Did you
class.
know at the time, like when you are auditioning, and this is the part I really want to know,
Yeah.
like the audition process. Are you in a room collectively with everyone, or is it just like
No, they did a real screen test. They don't do this very often now.
Okay.
I did the same thing for Nutty Professor, which was a real screen test. They put you through hair and makeup. I had on a dress. It's
that
with
red dress?
yes.
From
It's
the movies.
It's like it's with Forrest Whitaker. Like it's a real screen test. They are
Right.
on a kind of set. Like it's a thing. That's somewhere too. I would love to. You know how you look. I'm like, where is that stuff? Now I'll find out why I didn't get it.
Okay.
You weren't good. So anyway, I'm doing small things like that, and just something went. You got to make a decision. You got to go to New York or L.A. And I don't know. I mean, I think it was just the accumulation of all those little things. And so I was waiting tables too. I saved up my money for a year waiting tables, bought this $600 car.
Wow.
But I am a planner. So I flew to LA first, got an agent.
Mm-hmm.
One of my agents in Chicago helped me set up some meetings. Somehow or not, I've always been this person. Things kind of fall in line for me. So at the time I met with William Morris and another one. I have no idea how I got in this meeting. I really had no tape. And they're like, do you have tape? I'm like, I do not. But
So you had to have, even back then, you had to have.
A reel.
A
Of some
reel?
kind, yeah.
yeah, they were asking, they want to see something. And I was like, oh, I had done this movie, How You Like Me Now. Out of
Wait,
Chicago.
time out,
wait,
time
How
out,
you like
time
me
out.
now?
That
the
was
one.
my first. I think that's my first film. I have.
Google.
No,
I've
Listen.
seen this
movie.
film,
I've seen
but
it,
now I
yeah.
gotta remind
Yeah, me
myself.
too. That's why I was like, wait.
Okay, I look crazy because
Yeah, right. Okay.
Halle Berry had just like hit it. And so the guy who was producing it was a white guy who was producing it for this black director.
I've seen this movie.
There's so much Googling
And
happening right now.
he decided because my hair is so right now my hair is curly, but my hair is very straight. So he decided that I didn't look black enough, and he wanted me to wear a short wig with more what he considered black hair.
Right.
And so I'm wearing this wig so it looks more Halle Berry short cut to look more black.
That's
It's
a
really
moment.
bad.
Well, that's a moment.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
gotta try that.
But you like, I'm gonna do this movie. I'm gonna wear this wig.
Right.
But yeah. And some days the wig looked good,
Yeah.
and some days it did not.
Is it
It
the
wasn't this.
same?
It wasn't nowadays where you can get good wigs. You know, you just.
I gotta find this film.
I've seen it. I've seen this movie.
I have too.
It's with
and now-
Darnell Williams.
Rapper.
Oh yeah, I found the
From-
poster.
Darnell Williams.
Yeah.
You are a baby. Like yeah.
I'm like 22 or something.
wow.
So I think that was.
Fine
but I have
wine,
another
Sally.
one. I don't know the name of it. It's with Marla Gibbs and Stoney Jackson.
Whoa.
And that.
Wow.
Not 227.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
And we
episode.
shot it in Chicago. Those are my two films that I shot before I moved. Is that Up Against the
Up Against the Wall.
Up
I saw it
Against
on
the
your
Wall?
IMDb, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't.
I've never seen it.
This is why we
I've
need
never seen
Tubi.
it.
Marla Gibbs.
Listen.
Yo.
Marla
Real.
Gibbs.
We need Tubi. Yeah. Nah.
So I'm not really showing. I had just did How You Like Me Now. Now I didn't have anything to show him. I said, but I just did this film in Chicago, so I'm a good talker in a room. So I was like, but I'm great. I'm a work. I'm at a table full of
Oh wow.
old men, and I'm selling. And at this agency called Triad at the time, which was a big agency then, and I went with Triad, and so I went back home and packed my car up. I also had found a place to live out there, rented from this woman in her house,
Okay.
and then I drove up to LA. And I saved up enough money and had a little help from my then manager,
Okay.
who used to run my mother's studio, who was helping me. And I didn't have to work for a year. And then within that year, before my money was just about to run out, I got Posse.
Wow.
Oh, I want to hear all
Wait,
about
the way
y'all.
she told that story, it was like a cliffhanger. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait,
That
you
is a
didn't-
cliffhanger.
You didn't
She's
eat
the
yet.
director.
Right, you ain't eat yet.
Well, you don't want to hear everything. I know how to hit the bullet points. I
Yeah.
got a few.
No,
This
dude.
ain't that show, though,
we
so.
are literally Rabbit Hole City.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, I had gotten, a few. I think I did a pilot, and
how many pilots have you done?
a number of them.
Didn't I see
Yeah.
The Rock is on your IMDb too? Did you do an episode of The Rock? You
Oh.
said Rocky Carroll, so I was like wondering if that translated
Did
to
I?
The Rock. Girl, it's been a long career. Yes.
I don't
When
know.
you can't remember it means it
Yes,
happened.
you've done
I-
Rock.
You did.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes, you have.
Okay. Oh, I did. Yeah.
Yes,
See?
you have.
I forgot I did a Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yes.
I forgot that.
Okay, so
Until I
great.
saw it, I said, "Ooh,
Amazing.
yeah."
okay, this is why I'm asking you this. So there's a friend of mine who was the star of her own successful platform series, and she told me that even though they were hit out the box, she wanted to wait until season 3 to buy the house. You know, when you're like, hey, I'm on a hit show, I've been nominated for a few Emmys, I'm established, let me buy that house. And then out of nowhere, and I don't know why, but suddenly
over.
the show got canceled. And it wasn't like due to low ratings, like something happened, a freak accident, maybe like one of the executive producers died or something.
Not their fault, just whatever.
And now she's stuck with this house. And she, the whole point was, she told me it took her like maybe 8 years to finally get this off of her hands. Like she's been stuck with this house. So I always wanted to know, in sort of on the acting side of things, when you're in this city, when you get a guest role on a Rock or, Office Person number 12 in Living Single, whatever. Sustainability wise, how safe do you feel? Like if the imagined Grim Reaper's behind you, is a guest spot on a show a jump for you for at least 4 months of safety to breathe before the Grim Reaper catches up, and then you have to get your next series? Like how
4
long?
months? No. That's why people are on strike,
That part.
because you can't make. No.
Okay.
Luckily, I've always lived as if whatever this check is, I may not work for months. I may not work for a year. So
even when you have something good, it's never a.
I haven't felt comfortable and secure in this business, and I still have an actor's mindset that at any point some shit might change. Until I started directing and really started hitting my stride,
Okay.
have I sat back and relaxed for a second. And my husband will tell you, there have been many flights where he's like, I'm like, we it's only a 4-hour flight. We can fly coach. I'm cheap. And that's how I live. I live as if I may not work for another year.
But does that also prevent you from dreaming? And I know I can sound real naive saying this, but it really wasn't until I allowed myself to it's almost like you have to tell your body okay, this is what I want and this is my dream. I'm pursue it, hook or crook or whatever. Because I used to be the careful Smurf, oh man, we're never going to da-da-da-da-da, so let me save up and that sort of thing. So does that prevent you from, how do you ride the line between safety and this is the dream that I want, and that's my destination?
But I did do that because by really pivoting to directing, I had to take a chance. I was working a lot as an actress, and that was working well for me. And when you first start directing, it's a good living, but if I'm on a hit show, when I started directing, I could still make more money acting as long as I was on a series, because I have my rate for an episode is going to be pretty good compared to the director, which takes a little longer to do an episode. But
oh damn! So I chose the wrong profession again.
Every time.
No.
but then so I had to really make a decision. But I was looking at the long game. I knew that in directing, there's not a lot of, and I don't care. I'm 55 now. I'll be 56 this year.
Hey.
There are not
Awesome.
There are not a lot of women my age, especially people of color, who are big, huge movie stars or the lead of a TV series. As you get older, things are going to change, so you have to make a decision where you're going. And so looking at directing, I knew it was going to take me somewhere, and I just had faith that, besides that I feel like it's my calling, I knew that this was going to be my longevity, and this is where my wealth was going to happen.
When did you realize that directing was your calling?
Honestly, the first time I did it.
Really?
What was the first your first foray into?
Eureka.
Okay.
So I did Ava DuVernay's first film, I Will Follow.
Okay.
Yeah.
She had done some I think she had directed a documentary or two before that, but this was her first narrative film.
Okay.
And during that process, I always say I must have been one of those actresses who was given too much of their opinion, because at some point she said to me during that process, "I think you're a director, and
Instead
you
of,
don't."
Shh.
Yeah.
No. She said, "I think you're a director, and you don't know it."
How did you feel when you were told that?
There's something about when it was, how someone just says something to you and you kind of see your life flash, and I go,
Like a eureka moment?
I had a eureka moment. Thank you. Nice call back there.
I don't have the theme. Sorry. Forgive me.
I really, it was like God put something in her to give to me, and it changed my life. And I was on a break from Eureka at that time. It was like, our hiatus. And Ava said that to me, and I went, huh, she's doing it. She was a publicist. She can do this. And I called this director I knew, Eric Lonneville, who's done black director, used to be an actor on, I think, St. Elsewhere.
Okay.
With Denzel. He came up with him.
Okay.
And he started directing that show. Anyway, he had directed me on Eureka, and I called him. I said, hey, I want to ask them about directing. I think I want to do this. Can I shadow you? He said, absolutely. So went and shadowed him on a few, like 2 shows during my break, and Ava gave me some tapes. I got some books. I have many years of, learning on the set. Which you find out how much you really know when you do it. And I asked my producers, and they trusted me and gave me an episode. And when I did, I still remember when they called me and said yes, where I was standing, and that moment of being excited, and then literally the next moment going, holy shit. Now
it starts.
Now it's real. Now I have to really do it. And after doing that first episode, I went, oh, I understand this. I get this. This is great.
And directing for you was something you learned strictly just from shadowing other directors, not something like you went to school for and nothing like that?
Well, I say I went to school because it was like 25 years of acting. So
right.
What I realized, so then I did the Sony film program.
Oh, okay.
At the studio. And then I remember during that, I'm in this program, and I was feeling a little intimidated because they had all these students who had gone to AFI and NYU and blah, blah, blah. They had done their little films and stuff, but they've all been in school. And the more they talked, the more panels, the more like little group classes and speakers would come. All of a sudden, I became part of the speakers because I knew so much from being on the set.
Yeah, you was outside.
Right. So the mixture of doing the work I needed to by really shadowing and paying attention. And when I say shadow, because I tell people who come to shadow me, shadowing means you're there through every bit of pre-production, every meeting, when I go to set, if I get to work an hour before, you should be there an hour.
This is a ride along?
Huh?
This is a ride along.
Yes. Yeah, you're there every minute. when we edited, I was there every minute. And so you really, that's a different than just sitting on a set. I learned a lot.
I'm gonna shadow her.
You should.
You can shadow me. I learned a lot doing that. And then, but honestly, you don't know if you're going to be good at it until you do it.
So now that you're knee deep in it, have you accepted that this is your actual calling? Because for me, though, there's still, it's almost, you know, like in Heat, where you got to walk away in 30 seconds or else. And there was that moment, sorry to spoil it for those that have not seen the movie Heat.
From like
There's a
30
moment
years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
No, there's
Classic.
a moment at the very end where De Niro can just, he executed it. He got the guy. He can walk off with the girl. Just one little itching he has to go back and see. And, of course, you know, I won't spoil what happens. But
He dies.
It's on Tubi. It's fine.
Oh, okay, okay. All right.
Every time.
anyway, so my whole point is there is a part of me as a musician that still feels like I didn't
go back.
scratch that itch yet.
Yeah.
You know, like I've done everything in the music world except arrive to this platform on my own without aiding someone getting there or that sort of thing. And even though I'm having a hell of a life and a hell of a journey everywhere else, there's part of me that's still like, oh man, none of this, like there's an asterisk there. Like none of this counts until I can do for music what I'm able to do for these other ventures. So for you in acting, in terms of like that, have you resolved that and just like, hey, if the universe always wanted me to tell stories behind the camera. So have you?
So when I started directing so much, in the beginning I thought that I would be doing both. I'll direct this part of the year, and then I'll be on a series and do this part of the year.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I was getting booked so much that it made sense for me to just keep on directing. So I always thought I would be acting. I didn't know I was quitting at the time. And then you look back, and it's 3 years later, and because I was still dabbling and doing small little things, or more than 3. I mean, it's been many years now that I haven't really acted. Every once in a while I've done a show where I was directed, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you just do this role?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it. That'll be fun." So I would never say never. I would love to do something that would be truly challenging for me. I think at the end of my acting career, I was doing a lot of the same kind of role. I was like the powerful black woman in the office, attorney, head of the company, DEA. I was.
We don't get to know you, but you're just
the same. Yeah, I'm telling everybody what to do, and then I go back in my office. That was becoming kind of boring and not very challenging.
Right.
And I do think that I never was given the opportunity to really show how good I can be and to really do amazing work. And I don't think I ever had part of the reason I direct the way I do is that I really push people because I felt like I've never had that one director who would not accept anything but everything they knew they had in me. And so when I work with actors, if I know you have more, if I'm watching your performance and I know what kind of actor you are too, say you've done 3 takes and it's a good performance,
right?
But I notice it's the same, then I know you rehearsed that at home. And I like it. I'm watching it. Other people are impressed, but there's something in my gut or in my heart, in my body that I know when it's real, and I hope to push you to give me that moment where I really feel it, and then I go, now we have it. And I've never had that person do that for me.
All right, I'm going to skip the timeline just to ask this question.
Okay.
So, yeah, I guess in the past 10 to 15 years, there kind of been I won't say shots fired, but there have been words from the brothers.
Hughes Brothers.
Yes.
Yep.
The Hughes brothers, in terms of their experience with Denzel on it's a book of
Eli.
Oh, Book of Eli. Yeah.
right, of which I guess one of them was joking about like, and I've heard this before from other actors where like Denzel would be like, "I'm only going to give you 2 performances, so you better capture it now." Like I don't have it. And established actors, I know, like I didn't know that was an option. Like, you better capture me now. And I've heard De Niro stories and all that stuff from established actors. How do you know how far to push your actors, especially if you're in a situation where like time is of the essence? There's always, I'm sure there's a micromanaging producer in the background, like, okay, we're losing light, or we don't have enough for overtime or whatever. How do you know when to press a button, when to make someone do a 4th take?
Yeah.
Like, how do you know that?
I think everyone's different, and you have to take cues from the people you're working with. Sometimes I will, especially with the bigger actors, I have conversations with everyone before I shoot, because I ask, how far can I push you? How far are you comfortable with?
I apologize, guys. This is really going to just be the Salli Amir tutorial. Because now, the more she's talking, the more I'm like, oh, God, I didn't think about none of this. I got to confront people and talk ahead of time. And I talk to a lot of my actor friends, and they'll tell me, like, if A-list person's being an asshole on the set and that sort of thing.
But there's some people I know that there are some actors I can, on the side of the camera, say things that I know that will give you an emotional response. I can come whisper in your ear and tell you you're a piece of shit. And that's why you ain't never. And I'll talk crazy in your ear, but I know that we've had a conversation.
Why did I just get excited?
I got excited too because I can see you doing that to actors on The Gilded Age. Like, I got excited.
The oxygen just went out the room. We all like,
shit. No, that's good shit.
I am a piece of shit.
I'm like, what did you? In my mind, I'm like, what are you whispering in Christine Baranski's ear to make her go? You're an evil bitch.
I am not saying that. But there's certain people I can look at you and go, I don't believe you right now. So,
but should you have to go through Jedi?
Yes, you have to go through Jedi. I have to figure out.
It's directing.
I have to figure out how to get the best out of you without you shutting down. Now there's some big actors who are a little more persnickety, and so then I have to figure out. But I also don't have to they're good people. They know what they're doing. So I have to figure out what little things I can say to you to get what I want. And sometimes it can be uncomfortable for me, but that's by earning their respect and not being afraid to give them the note, even though you know they're going to give you an attitude about it.
So as a woman, as we, and I've heard this many a times, in any professional setting, like, women often have to fight to stand their ground as leader and to get our respect, and it's sort of us not look condescending and all those things. So how deep is the mental preparation that you have to do when you know that you're dealing with an actor or actress, whatever, that sort of might have a closed, that won't submit to you?
There's something about my personality that does not give you the feeling that you should not listen to what I'm asking you to do. And first of all, I'm very prepped and prepared, which is part of them starting to respect you. And again, there's not much you can do to me that will, at least outwardly, will break me down. So
have people attempted?
I've had some early on.
Okay.
Some volatile people.
Yikes.
but that's where Chicago comes
knew
into
it.
it. And in my mind, because I've had producers say to me, okay, other women have cried here and this and that. And I'm like, ain't nobody gonna see me cry. Like, that's just not, like, it's not happening. I don't cry in life. Really, it's not a good thing. My husband says I didn't cry.
Wait, that's scary
that's
too.
That's a whole other
Wait a
discussion.
minute. When is your
Paging
birthday,
doctor.
Sally? When is, you say you about to
Don't
turn-
say you're Gemini.
Huh? No, I'm a Sag. I'm a
Sag.
20.
Oh, okay.
I feel
I'm
you.
just
So am
not
I.
a-
See, we're introverted.
No
we don't
offense
say
to
anything
any
about anything.
Geminis here.
But you know, I come from that I come from that black mother where there is like, just suck it up and move on. So there's times I feel it. And of course, I've cried in my life.
Yeah, I was gonna say
no, of
I'm
course.
spending thousands in therapy to unlearn that shit.
I need to
Cry
learn how
more.
to cry
Cry
more.
away.
My husband was. I remember when he goes, "If you walk down this aisle and I don't see you cry," and the whole time going down the aisle, I was like, "Fuck, I had to figure out how to cry when I get out there."
I gotta act for
was
real
like, he
now.
gonna be real upset. I didn't cry when I gave birth to 2 children
What?
with no drugs.
It wasn't
and I
painful?
didn't cry. Yeah, but
No tears.
with no drugs,
No drugs,
natural
yeah.
child. I just not a crier.
Wow.
Anyway, so let me tell you,
you
you're
really
not.
are from Chicago.
you're not
Yeah,
gonna-
that's what I seen that.
You're not gonna make. I've had different things in my life. I'm not ready to. I'm not doing no tell all. I
Right,
don't need to be on
100%.
one of these. But I've had enough trauma that you being a disgruntled actor or even cursing in my face and like seeming physically intimidating in front of me. In my mind, I'm like, I wish
you mother-
I
I
wish
wish a
you would
nigga
do
would.
it. Now, I wouldn't say that, but that's the look. I'm like, what you got?
Yeah.
So
That's
so
what I
that
must-
mixed with what people think I look like and how, but I also have this mom voice that will come. What I'm telling you that I need you to do is go from there to there. And but then I'm nice to you too. Like, you have to pull everything out. I gotta be your
A smack
mother.
and a
I gotta
stroke.
be
I
your
get it.
girlfriend
Right.
sometimes.
Stick.
I gotta be your sister. I gotta be your boss.
A
I
whole
gotta.
black
There's a whole. My job and what I'm very good at is figuring out what you need. What does this actor need for me to get the best performance? And at the end of the day, most of them, I think, have left feeling like I know what I'm doing, and they trusted me, and then some of them I want to be friends with, and some I hope I never see you again. But they would never know it.
But Amir, don't you feel that way about the band? Like, you're in a certain.
me?
Yeah.
No,
you.
when she
But you're
well,
a
she's
certain
saying
level
this.
of-
She's saying this now, and I've learned. So I learned already that when a person worries, you're basically politely praying that something bad does happen to you. I hope I don't get attacked in this subway. I hope I don't get ran over by a car. I hope my wife don't catch me. Weird. Weird
That was a
examples.
weird one to end with.
Right.
That was
We'll
a
edit
weird
that
one to
one
end
out.
with.
Go ahead.
No, but
You could have gone any way there.
I've been, I for the last 2 years, sort of riding the fence of, well, why me and why now, and what's the catch here? And then she's saying this, and I'm realizing, fucking universe, I get this now. The universe knows I hate confrontation.
I don't like confrontation either.
neither.
I despise
But
confrontation.
director's all about
Really?
confrontation.
Yeah.
No, I have Richard Nichols for that. Man, tell Tariq I don't like that verse. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Fair.
But now I'm realizing, damn, this is
God
because
forcing
it's
you
one
to
thing.
do
It's
it.
one thing when you're doing documentaries. Like for me, I will say that what I'm working on now is it's not Summer of Soul. You know what I mean? In terms of like people talking about a joyous time, whatever. Like because I'm talking about trauma and shit. So getting answers out of my subjects is like I feel like I should be a qualified paralegal. Like the lawyer levels that I'm going to get the answer that I need you to give and coax it out of you. And it's just like, damn, what if this is the universe forcing me in this, like, to be a people person? Something that
You running from?
I hate people.
Yeah.
No, I don't
Oh, he
hate
said it.
them.
Oh, he said it.
But now that you're saying this, and I'm realizing, damn, this is what the next 6 years of my life is about to be. Like, I'm gonna have to
Like
talk to people, and
You'll learn so much about, I don't know, I say grace.
I hate you right now.
Huh.
Like,
I am here.
yeah, she's behind you.
Is she
like,
making-
listen to her.
I'm sitting here like, yeah, listen.
But you learn so much about communication with people. I mean, okay, he don't do. He needs help with this.
Yeah, he
I'm
does.
getting
Boy.
better.
He is getting-
I'm
he
getting
is-
better.
Because I have to
Boy.
deal with so many different people, and really in the position. Listen, I can't argue. I'm not going to argue with any actors. I'm not going to argue with your stars. Not really argue, because you could walk off the set. Now I can't shoot. So because my job is also to let's get this day
get it
going.
done, yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, in my mind, you may be talking crazy to me. Do I engage? No, I can't engage because that's an argument.
Is that what
That
80s
takes
are for?
time.
Because whenever I'm on a set, I'm talking about like when I was doing videos
Yeah.
or whatever, the annoying person, the guy that yells and all that stuff, like I always notice that the directors just sits in front of the watch the daily screen and all that stuff and really doesn't say much. Like comes
No.
like things.
The AD doesn't talk to the actors for me. No, not
You don't allow that for you, or in
On-
general.
on the kind of shows I'm doing. Absolutely not.
Okay.
He can call and tell you it's time to, it's time to shoot or something. But no, it's all me.
I always
It's all
thought
me.
that
No,
the
no,
job
no.
of an AD was sort of be the bad cop, so that you don't have to.
That would be the bad cop as far as production. Let them know this information. This is why we're not shooting right now. This is why it's going to take longer. I'm sorry we brought you in earlier, but this happened. That kind of thing. But any problems on a set when we're talking about the work, what I need you to do, what this character's going to do, why it's not working, blah blah blah. That's all me. So yeah.
All right, so I'm going to ask backwards because I want to
Yeah,
go back
go
to
ahead.
your journey as an actress. But
Okay.
since you're here, so when you're doing a series,
Yeah.
and you aren't the showrunner of said series,
Mhm.
how do you navigate your job as a director? Because okay, for instance, if there was an episode of Boardwalk Empire that I watched that Marty Scorsese directed.
Okay.
And I would have had no clue that he did it because I didn't see none of the film school, like none of his trademark
Yeah.
Scorsese-isms or whatever. And I realized that, oh, well, he sort of has to fit into the shell of what the show is.
What the show is, yeah.
How do you know when you get called for a show, how much leverage or leeway are you allowed to, or are you even one of those directors that's thinking of like what your trademark is, like, shoot on a side
definitely-
angle,
yeah.
or like zoom, like.
So you find a way, and again, that's why I kind of had a goal of the platform. Like, really, my end goal was to get to a platform like HBO, where you have more freedom to be who you are as a director. So when you're going on some of these earlier shows, absolutely, there is a style. You have to fit into it. But you find a way to infuse some of you into their show. Otherwise, they could hire anyone.
Yeah.
So why do they bring you back? So maybe I have a few shots that may be pushing the envelope a little bit, but it's definitely what I like to do. I always say I like the camera moving a lot, and I love doing long oneers. So most of the time, you'll find that in my episodes, somewhere in there might be a long oneer.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what were some of your techniques in winning time that you use?
That's a
showed
good
up?
example.
Yeah.
That's a show which it has to look like vintage,
Yeah.
And you came in second season too, so right.
Well, I did the first season. I did
Okay.
the last 2 episodes of the first season.
So how much micromanaging does the screenwriter do in terms of like, so what have you decided I don't want to use this grain of like. Are you allowed to make a radical decision?
No. That is established what the look is going to be. But I find that particular show, we're using so many different formats that I really have a lot of freedom. So there's a lot of that style in me. I mean, there's a lot of, I say in the action, you'll see a lot of pushing and pulling shots that are mine. Again, there'll be a lot of shots where it's a long oneer, where there's a lot of handoffs.
I love. Ask you what that means in layman's terms.
That means think about classic Goodfellas shot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love.
Just a long take. Just
yes.
one
At the
unbroken
table,
take.
the Goodfellas.
No. When
No,
you're
no, when
walking
he's
through
walking
the
her-
whole restaurant, when you first come
Jimmy,
in.
two times.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Just
Like,
a long
yes.
take with no
That
breaks.
I love blocking,
Huh.
and so blocking a shot like that with that takes a lot of prep, and that would just everything about that shot is perfect.
Yeah.
I love that shot. There's a shot in this movie called Rush that does
Oh
about
yeah, with
drugs.
Jason Lee and
Yes,
yeah.
there's a big long shot like that too. Love it. So you'd see a lot of that in my work. You'll see a lot of energy pushing and pulling. You'll see lower angles. You'll see that stuff that comes in really intimately. So Winning Time was perfect for that. I
No,
could
y'all
pretty
killed that
much
shit, and I
do
love that
whatever
show.
I wanted to there. Even though the format of how we shot it was set in stone, I could still do most of me in there too, which is, I think, part of the reason they brought me back to produce the next season and to direct half of it, because they like what I did on the last 2 episodes, and I feel like the show, kind of found its real sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
It takes the show a second. Adam set up an amazing pilot, but then it takes a second for things to really, get mixed and work, bake. Right. And by the second season, we could really get in there and fine tune some things.
A question I had to that point.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times with TV, we talking to directors and talking just a lot of actors, a lot of times they'll tell you most television shows don't really hit a stride until probably like season 3 or on. But now shows don't even get that
Are
much
you
of a
giving
chance.
that much of it? Yeah.
Yeah, you don't even get that much of a runway. So how do you as a director, how do you adapt to this kind of landscape where shit is just,
there's nothing you can do. Just hope that, I don't know, it's so hard. I think with, Winning Time, it's also a very, very expensive show to make. So it's hard to just let it hit its stride, although I felt like this second season, we were really falling into a nice spot. But, the things have changed out here in in the business. Who knows? I don't know the decision making. I know I did what I was supposed to do, and people are loving it. And I just kind of blow where the wind takes me.
So, okay, well, I guess maybe this is why the strike happened, but how do they determine what is a successful series and worth investing in as opposed to not nowadays? Because, for Winning Time, they're not going on, or they're not sharing Nielsen.
Streaming
Is Nielsen rating still a thing?
For network TV, it's different on those platforms.
Well, I know for streaming or whatever, they don't share the numbers.
No.
You don't know. So, to sort of prematurely yank it before it gets its chance to really unfurl and reveal itself.
Yeah.
It could have been all kinds of factors.
I think there's so many factors. There's so, is it getting awards? Is it getting nominated? That maybe even if it wasn't
But
getting.
even Lovecraft, that got so many.
That left for
Emmys.
another reason, right? Like that didn't even have anything to do with nobody watching it. That was creative.
Yeah, I think there were some things going
Yeah.
on.
like legit.
Yeah.
No bullshit. It's on Tubi now.
There's so many. I heard Casey Bloys, who's the head of HBO. I heard him on a podcast talking, and there's just so many factors. It can be a show that is artistically fantastic that doesn't cost them a lot, and may not be getting, but is getting all the great reviews. May not be getting all the numbers. but maybe that show can come back because it's getting some of the artistic things they want. And it doesn't cost that much to make, so it works. Then you'll have, so there's all these different factors he was talking about on this podcast. So again, I don't know.
So do you attribute the success of the Gilded Age to what you just said about awards and whatnot? Because now they're in a
Or not being basketball.
Well, I don't
well,
think
basketball is popular. But
No.
But Gilded didn't. I mean, we got things for behind the scenes, but actors weren't getting it. The show, but we don't even know. I mean, this is the second season of Gilded. We had our second season of Winning Time. I think Gilded is going to be fat, and we don't know about the season 3 of Gilded until it's out and we see what the numbers are. I think that the second season of Gilded is fantastic and fun, so who knows?
So,
But I also thought Winning Time was fat, I don't know.
Right.
So okay, when you got the Gilded project, what was your
yeah, please,
I was like, how did I get this show?
please tell us.
right,
'Cause,
but
yes.
yeah, like what was your knowledge of life in the 1800s at that?
And the same knowledge that anybody else has, right?
Vast.
If you think about it,
Like, had you heard of the Gilded Age?
even listen, white, black, blue, man, woman, nobody was living in the 1800s. Most people are not historians.
But there's always some historian like, well, actually, they,
Yeah,
that
but we
particular.
have, but I have you there to fulfill, to tell me what that stuff is.
Okay.
I was a lover of period pieces. I've always loved them. I had watched all of Downton
Downton
Abbey.
Abbey,
I
right.
had, if you say on the list, I would love like Dangerous Liaisons.
That
I
was
could
good.
watch
Oh,
that
wow. That
over
was
and
good.
over. So I've loved that anyway. So the when that opportunity came up. To meet with them, I was ready, and I had done enough. I hadn't done a show like that, and they were looking for a black woman in particular, I think, to fill that role because they knew they were going to have this black family in it, and they also knew they needed a woman's point of view because of what the show was. And so I met, and I just told him about my love of the show. I'm very good with detail. I'm a good student of things. So somehow or another, I convinced them, like I did when I moved to L.A., and convinced William, y'all should sign me. I ain't got no tape, but I can do it. I'm good I'm good in an interview. I convinced them I can do this, and they said yes. And
No.
and then that, because of COVID, because initially I was only supposed to do 2 episodes, and
Okay.
then COVID happened, and that's part of the thing that launched it into me then producing and doing more of the episodes, and grew into this deal at HBO. It was like this whole weird thing that I don't even know how it happened.
Overall deal? You mean
Yeah.
the Salli Richardson-Whitfield HBO overall deal, which most people don't even understand what that means, but congratulations.
This means that you can develop your own projects there? Or?
Yeah, and they just give me a certain amount of money and I'm exclusive to them and everything.
Come on
running
now.
things.
What a fan.
I'm running things. Yo, Black Dynamite is one of my favorite movies. Like, of
Yes,
all time.
mine too.
Dude, like
Word
Gloria,
to mother.
yeah, you bodied that shit.
Word to
Thank
mother.
you, thank you.
Word to mother.
Okay, so I first became aware of you of Posse, even though you were in Mo Money.
Yeah, I know.
It might
Yeah,
have been a
yeah.
blink if you
I
missed it,
don't-
Money. You
Yeah.
missed it, and blinking you missed it. But how could you talk about the process that led to Mario hiring you?
So I think I actually got the audition. I mean, through my agent, but I had met Blair Underwood.
Okay.
Somehow in LA, I'd been there that year, right?
Mhm.
Met him at a party. And he told Mario about me and said I'd be perfect for this film. She's black and American Indian, right? So I go in an audition with everybody else. And I got down to the last few, but then they hired someone else.
Okay.
I'll tell you who that was in a second. Only because it's okay. I could tell you.
Wait a
It'll be
minute.
funny.
Is this a thing where
They hired someone else and they were shooting.
and they say no, and then it comes down to you?
They were shooting, And they were like, I got a call. Okay, so I don't get it.
Okay.
I'm sad because I was like, who else can be? But at that time, my hair legit was down here, dead straight. I'm like, my mama has always told me we got Cherokee in her. I'm like, I am American Indian and black. I got a picture of my great grandmother, and she had 2 braids, and I'm pretty sure my mama ain't lying. Anyway, so I don't get it. And then one day I get a call on a Saturday, and they're like, they have fired the actress. Can you be here later on tonight? You're shooting Monday.
Wow. And that person is.
You
And
gotta say
that
it.
person is Stacey Dash.
Of course.
Wow. I got to remember that I got this shirt
Wow.
on. I got to remember that I got this shirt on. I'm just going to keep giving Titty. I'm
If it was any other person,
Wait, what?
I probably would not say who it
oh,
was.
okay. Oh God. Okay.
It was Stacey Dash.
Keep it together.
And I think she got there and whatever, I don't know. I heard there was some, it wasn't going well.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Difficult. Anyway, I don't know. I wasn't there. But all I know is I got a call Saturday, and Monday I was shooting.
How did you feel when you got that call?
You know how many more
I still
people
remember
watched that
where
movie?
I was. I was at some guy's house I was dating.
Memorable
and-
guy.
Huh? You don't know. And I don't even know if I had time to think. I was just like, it was just.
Saturday and you start on Monday.
Well, I don't know if I started. No, I started that week. I was there. Whatever hair they had got for her, they
How much
They
preparation?
clicked that in my head and put that outfit on me. I was.
How much preparation did you have to do?
I don't know. I just started. I don't. It's been a while, but it's not like I had that many deep lines. I already wrote I knew how to ride and stuff. So,
okay.
I've had because I had getting ready for another movie audition. I had learned. Glenn Turman has a
Yes.
ranch.
He's been on the
So
Yeah, we
I
had him
had
on the
met
show,
some people who took me to Glenn Turman's ranch, and Glenn taught me how to really ride. So I was ready. I was like, I got there. I had a young brain. I could memorize anything. Now I'd be like, oh, I need 2 weeks to memorize this. And I was there, and I was shooting, and I'm there with Tone Loc and Big Daddy
Daddy
Kane
Kane,
and
Melvin Van Peebles.
Yes,
Come
and
on.
Melvin and Mario and Pam. Pam Grier. And I mean, we had all sorts of people there. It was a dream. It's a blur in my mind. We used to play during our breaks. Like on the weekend, we would play basketball. I remember Tiny.
So you were still.
Yeah, Zeus said.
I was still
Rest
good
in
at basketball
peace.
then. I could still, because when I first was out here, I would do that. That's when they used to do celebrity basketball tournaments. So I used to play in all of those games. I was still pretty decent then.
What's your position?
Point
I
guard.
was a point guard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be this tall.
How
not
do
be
you
point
know?
guard.
I was a full
All right,
right.
listen. I'm the
I was
only
a
person
center.
that knows sports in this entire table. She's a point
Legit.
guard.
I know the sports.
I played center on my Boys and Girls Club basketball team. Excuse you.
I play the sports.
Here we go.
Nah, you got it.
No, you haven't.
Nah, you got it, bro. I don't know nothing about sports.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. We had the best time on that movie. I mean,
Man, I want to ask you about Low Down Dirty Shame,
Okay.
which is
Yes.
probably my favorite role of yours.
Right.
Like straight up and down. And I was thinking about what you were saying earlier about how directors, it's rare that you were pushed in some ways. I think the reason why I really like that role is because that was the first time that I can remember kind of seeing you as a villain. And I just thought,
I
that
know.
I was like, yo, I want to see more Salli as like the villain, like just straight up, so.
well, unfortunately, also I came up at a time where there wasn't that
that
many.
archetype. Yeah.
There wasn't that many jobs. It was really all of us, me, Jada, Nia. Everybody's going for the
For the
same
same roles.
thing, and Jada, Nia, so few people they were already there. Honestly, they had started a little sooner than me. People start taking off, and there's just not a lot of spots for you.
Yeah.
But also when I talk about not being pushed, I also haven't been given that many roles where there was an opportunity to push me to do something that different, you know.
What would be an example of something now, a role now that you would consider?
Or a role that
Pushing
you
you.
went after, that close but no cigar moment.
Oh, those are so many. I mean, probably every movie you've
Every
seen
black
another
movie.
black actress, the lead in, we all went out for the same thing. Remember I said I screen test me, I think Tisha Campbell was there too, and then Jada for Nutty Professor, and they gave it to Jada.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was the three of us testing together.
So,
Wow.
okay, when you talk about testing, what is the process of testing? Because I've heard, like, okay, you just come in recold for,
those are audition. Those are
committee?
like yes,
or
but
it's testing like a chemistry test to see if you and the
Chemistry.
character gets along, and da-da-da-da-da.
And when I say a screen test, that's a whole different thing. So when I said Rage in Harlem, I read with Forrest on a set in full hair, makeup, costume, him in costume. We're doing a scene from the movie being filmed on the cameras. That's like, it looks like the movie almost.
How often does that process happen now? Still, or not as much?
I don't think as much.
Okay.
Nutty Professor, same thing. Eddie came out in
Fat suit?
full-on makeup.
Wow.
I'm there, hair, makeup. You're in. I think we were in a lab or something, and we did a scene from the movie, and they filmed it.
Same bad bob wig as Jada got.
What's funny is that's what my hair looked
Wait,
like
what'd
then.
you say?
And then I saw the movie, and it was
It was bad, yeah. Jada's wig, same bad bob wig.
So my hair was just like that, and then they did the movie. I said they put my hair
on her.
on this chick. And that's what I decided, because she had really short hair. I said, "What is this?" But yeah.
I see. Okay. So,
That's when you get mad.
no, but like, for you though, do you have in your acting phase,
Mhm.
like for you, is movies the ultimate goal, or the security of a series?
Well, as an actress, you want the security of if you could get a scandal,
Listen, you gonna
you
live
move,
forever.
because most of the time,
buy the
unless
house.
you are the big A-list actor, you're not making that much to do a film. Maybe a few $100,000, which will last you for a little while.
Back to my original analogy. So a small role as the girlfriend or whatever in a movie, that's just enough for
Maybe if you're
2 months, 3 months out here.
a small role, or what are you talking about? Like my role in Lowdown,
Yes.
probably that was my biggest paycheck at
Yeah, I was
that
about
point.
to say I consider you main character in that one.
Yeah. So that gave me enough money to live on for a little while.
Okay.
And again, in my mind, I think that people need to have more of this mindset. I go, and because everyone else's mind, they're like, "Ooh,
House.
because people are telling you that, ooh, you about to take off.
Right.
This about to be it." In my mind, I already knew at that point, I'm not trusting it.
Do you book a project at a time, or are you allowed to stack?
Of course, if you can. Again, at that time, there wasn't a lot to stack. I don't know what I did. I don't know what I did after that.
So are you frugal enough that during Low Down Dirty Shame, after that you were still in your one bedroom? Or did you go, I'm going to step it up and get 2?
Listen, when we were
Pillows.
when we were shooting
Pillows.
when we were shooting Low Down Dirty Shame, I had done Posse and some other small things. I still had that $600 car
Wow.
Okay, that's what I
that
thought.
I drove to LA in, and Jada and Keenan, they were like, "Listen, you have got to get a new car." And I remember pulling up on the set, and they all, Jada had been on some series, and they got nice cars. I would meet people at parties and at restaurants, and I would not valet, because
That's what I was going to
yeah.
ask.
Yeah,
and I think
know that well.
at some point, like, I couldn't put my window down. It was, But it looked good. Again, I was like, so I finally leased a truck.
Yeah, you did.
At least.
I leased everybody has an SUV.
Yes,
So
I didn't know if you was going how cheap you were. I know if it was gonna be a Rav or not. I was like,
No.
I
I leased a car. I don't know,
RAV4.
but I was afraid. I was just afraid. I was afraid of being broke. I didn't have. I have lovely parents. I have a very supportive family, but there wasn't a bunch of money to be sending to help me, and nor did I ever ask. So I moved to LA. This was my choice. I'm out here on my own, and not to say I couldn't have gone back to Chicago and had a place to go. Again, I love my family. They would have done anything for me, but I never had to ask for anything. And
Was there ever a moment where you're just like, I'm out of here?
No.
So you just never, no matter how.
Not that I wasn't at home weeping and crying and when am I going to work, and I did weep and cry about that stuff.
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, phew, she's human. Okay.
But that's not in front of people.
Right.
That's by myself. You have that depression. I haven't worked in 3, 4, 5 months. What's the next thing going to be? But I always worked enough to keep going. I never spent beyond
Your means.
my means. I was always, because I just didn't, when you come from not having everything you want, you should be conservative. I think you're on both sides, or you just start spending all your money.
Yeah.
Damn, so are you the person now that, since we're going through this long ass strike, that people are now calling like, Sally, how did you do it? Like, Sally, help me get through. Like, you just seem maybe in that way because people.
I've been telling everyone, listen, I don't know how. Like my assistant, I kept going, hey, we don't know how long this strike is going to be. Right now, I'm still getting my money and everything. They haven't. Which means I can still pay you, but anything could happen. So don't get comfortable.
Yeah.
I know everybody must be jealous of
Because
this.
if they ain't paying me, you ain't getting paid.
That
Because
part.
I don't have it like that.
Yeah.
So I've been with. I see people. I judge people all the time. During this time, I've been seeing some of my friends or some of the people in my directors group going on trips and stuff, and I'm knowing that they don't work as much as I do. Where I'm like,
I see that
why
every
they on
time.
that trip? I'm like, do they got something going on? I don't know, but I'm like, okay.
I'm glad I'm not the only person that thinks like that. Like, I'll see somebody
I'm
on their
judging people all the
Instagram.
time. Judging your money. I don't know what you got. I'm
Or
judging
Us
your money
Weekly.
all the time.
So how did you maintain your sanity in the strike, but also in your creativity? And really, was the rule that you're not supposed to do any work whatsoever?
Well, I can do stuff on, like, me and my manager can talk about stuff.
Okay.
I have projects that I've been developing for a while that I can do stuff on my own. I'm sitting there. I have to make, like, my pitch decks. I have a documentary that I'm working on, in which I can do. So I've been working on this, like, sizzle. I've been able to pitch some of my documentary stuff.
Okay.
So I've been able to do some things. And then I've drove my husband a little crazy because probably everything in every drawer in our house has been reorganized. We're on to the garage.
Oh, you're OCD?
I'm not like right now. I was audience. I have a back injury. I am not good. I can't not do it. I'm a doer.
Right. You can't relax?
I'm a 24. Maybe one day, and then after that, I'm being real irresponsible right now. I need to get up. I just have to do something. So I'm like, well, I ain't got nothing else to do. We're going to reorganize the house. We're going to do this. I've been needing to get this done.
Because I wanted you to be silent.
And I found that's why I got COVID, and then I hurt my back.
Set you down, literally.
But But I've been watching stuff on my side as I lay in the bed on my side. But I've learned that if you're sitting around not doing, things get done. They don't get done, and things move ahead because there's other people doing. I don't know. I had
That's scary.
I have this year. You were talking about enjoying it, I think, and kind of sitting into it. And I think that this last year, and a lot of that is through having this HBO deal and kind of coming into my own enough that I go, I'm not getting this work because I'm a woman. I'm not getting this work because I'm black. I'm getting these jobs now because I really am the best person for this job.
Talk your shit.
And luckily, and now they can also check these boxes off. You know, it's like some added little thing. So I think somewhere in that confidence has made me go, you can relax a little bit. We had a big group trip. We all went to South Africa together, which was not a cheap trip.
Coach.
Trip
They
with
fly coach. They fly coach.
She did not fly
I did not fly coach
Yeah,
to
I'm
South
about to say.
Africa. I have some fancy friends, Jeff and Nicole Friday from ABFF.
There you go.
Jeff
Nice.
and Nicole like to, I'm shouting them out, they like to travel nicely.
Yes.
So they forced me out of my comfort zone.
Shout outs to
And my
ABFF.
husband was very happy because, you know, he could just kind of lets me be who I am and just shakes his head. But we had a fabulous trip. So I was like, okay, we're going to go take this once-in-a-lifetime trip with my children. And my daughter and I took a trip before she went to college. So I've been able to relax a little bit. And then I come back and then I get a moment of being afraid, we spend too much money. But, you know, you have to enjoy this stuff.
So I wanted to ask you about Dondre. I had a chance to meet him. This was been a couple years back on Queen Sugar. A good buddy of mine, Omar, that plays Hollywood. We hung out in New York one night, and he was coolest dude. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how he is at home, but with us, he was.
It's been 20. We've been together 26
Yeah,
years.
so-
Damn.
Question: how do y'all? Because I think it's like y'all and like Courtney and Angela Bassett. Like y'all like one of the only
Teflon
black.
couples.
Yeah, Teflon.
Survive a
No
pandemic.
pressure. No
Yeah.
pressure.
Now
Sam.
you
pressure.
just you just jinx us. Go
We're
ahead.
not jinxing.
That's like watching golf. He's been making this putt all day.
That's what I'm
I'm
like.
like, he about to miss it now. Okay, go ahead.
How did y'all survive for so long? What is specifically, and not just in a marriage specifically, but just two creative
As
people.
professionals.
Yeah, like that's a lot.
Yeah, you directed him.
I don't. Yeah, I did on Queen Sugar. You know what? I don't know. Dondre and I, obviously, we love each other very much. We have I think a lot of it is we have two very happy children.
That's what's up.
And
Are they
once
both
you're,
gone?
huh?
Are they both
No,
out?
my son's going into high school. He just is a freshman this year, and my daughter is at Spelman.
Of course
I'm
she
excited, a
is.
freshman
Oh
there.
my God.
So you look at your children, and
That was
they're.
such a weird moment, but good.
That was a Clark Atlanta girl.
I
know
got
that.
you.
Yeah.
But you look at your children, and that's also a motivating factor of that. No matter what our issues are, we need to figure this out. We got a happy little family here, and there's a mutual respect there. And I don't know, we're both very competitive, and that competitive nature of we gonna stay together. We committed to this.
see
We
that.
gonna figure this
You
out.
gripped him by the
Also,
locker.
Right.
somehow I think we both know if you look out here,
Ain't nothing out in these
nothing out here,
streets.
yeah.
there's nothing out here in these
Ain't
streets.
nothing in these streets.
No, I'm playing.
No, you'll find out. You working on it. You see.
And honestly, for me, like come on, you get to a certain age. What who I'm gonna meet now?
Yeah.
And who's gonna treat me like my husband treats me?
Oh, because I put out the fan.
Huh? Hey, baby.
Oh, you want to treat her, Steve?
Nah, Steve is in rare form right now.
shoot.
With the silence. All right, good.
But my husband he really does treat me like a queen. He takes care of me. Almost every morning he knows my coffee I want. If I happen to sleep late, he is bringing that coffee up there for me.
That's my
He-
question.
Yeah.
What is your morning routine?
What
What time do you automatically wake up without the clock waking you up? And what's the first thing you do in the first half hour of your day? If we're habitual
Right.
characters.
Most of the time, my eyes will open at 6:30 in the morning. Unfortunately, I don't care. My eyes just open. Probably we have 3 dogs. They've probably made some noise in the room. 3. We have a Rottweiler,
Oh wow.
a Golden Doodle, and a crazy Frenchie.
Do they like each other?
Yes, they do. Although our Frenchie and our Rottie are both males who are not fixed and are starting.
Oh,
To
wow.
rub the couch.
They wow.
No,
wow.
they starting
Pump
to.
fest.
Yeah,
They grew up together because they're both like 3 and a half ish, and they've just that loving friendship has changed.
Yeah.
And it's mostly the Frenchie.
Literally.
Because
It's
the
like prison
Ronnie,
love now. It's a whole other.
my
kind of-
Rottweiler is cool. He's like, if you don't mess with me, we good. He gets along with other dogs, but that Frenchie is insane. Anyway, so I let the dogs out. If I happen to sleep later, I'll have my coffee. I go down, I have my coffee, and usually I get up, I take the dogs on a hike, which is how I hurt my back because I slipped. And I take them out separately. I take the Frenchie by himself for a short walk real quick, and then I come back for the other 2 because they can go on a long walk with me. So that's sort of get my day going. And then, nowadays it would be, now I have maybe these 3 Zoom calls during, Zoom meetings or something. But it's usually, and I don't eat till probably about 12:31. I'll have a protein shake or something.
Intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I don't eat in the morning. And that's if I'm not working,
Okay.
working, you go on the
You gotta be
yeah,
set
yeah,
at
yeah,
4:30 in the morning, whatever. Okay. What is your secret talent that you're allowed to say on camera?
right.
I don't know. I always say. I mean, I do a lot of things. I mean, I'm a golfer. I don't know if that's so secret, but I think.
I didn't know you were golfing.
Are you a part of the squad, Sally?
No, I'm
Like
not.
that whole black female squad that goes down?
Well, no, I used to do a lot of the celebrity golf tournaments
Okay.
and stuff. I used to be actually very good. My son is an amazing golfer. He's
What is it about golfing? Because a lot of my friends, especially my black friends who are professionals,
yeah.
like, is there a memo that I haven't gotten yet? Like, everyone turns 45 and then suddenly, like,
Well, I've been playing for like at least 25 years. I had started playing because Dondre played when we met.
is it fun?
Yes.
Or
It's
did
so-
you start at like miniature golf and then top golf?
No,
and then,
no. I started playing golf. Richard Roundtree is one of the first people to help me play golf. Richard Roundtree and Richard Lawson. I've had
Wow,
amazing
Richard
people who've
Lawson,
helped
okay.
me play golf in the beginning, and then obviously my husband.
Right.
I don't. If you listen, I'm not going to be doing any more pickup games of basketball and stuff like that. I think what it is that golf is something you can do by yourself. You can do in a group. It's
drink
highly
and
Is it
smoke.
therapeutic?
You can
It
drink and
is.
smoke.
It's
Right.
highly competitive.
That's the best part.
It's a way for me to compete. I love to compete,
Okay.
and it's a way for me to do that. And it's a hard game. It will challenge you.
Like, how long did it take you
suck at
to learn it? Because I feel like now I'm gonna have to.
No one has.
I cannot see Amir golfing. Am I the only one? Sorry.
No, I can.
No, but the thing is like, okay, for instance, our friend Zara, who
She golf?
is no, but she's stuck in her she's stuck in her mode. She's stuck in her mode where like she loves chain restaurants. And I'm like,
what?
yeah, exactly.
What?
Oh no, you mentioned Chipotle, she'll just die on the spot. However, I'm telling her like, okay, we're ramping up our games now, and you live in Los Angeles, and we're doing these high-powered meetings. You might have to learn how to acclimate or adjust yourself to eating sushi, which her first response is, I hate sushi, whatever. I'm like, no, but like a lot of,
The circles we're gonna be running in. That's what
right,
it is.
exactly.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to start adulting, and I feel like
Adulting.
for some reason, a lot of the high caliber power people that I'm running
Well,
into,
it's an expensive
they
sport,
golf.
so that's one thing too, right? Why it's not
It
a
is?
broke man's
Oh.
game. Yeah, it's
Oh.
very expensive to play, right? So I mean, that's why.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
why
but
And I
it's
mean,
not
it's 18
played.
holes, so it's like you're walking. From what I've heard, it's a lot of people to use it for networking, like because it's 18 holes,
Right.
so you walking, you talking, you smoking.
There's
drink, whatever.
definitely been like on sets on the weekend. I'm on location. The producers are like, we're playing
Deals
golf. I'm
made.
like, I brought my clubs. I played. They're like, you played.
Brilliant.
It is something. I've met a lot of people through golf, but I don't use it just for that. I love golf. It's fun. I watch it.
Just
Alright.
stretch before you do it, Amir. Don't
2024,
ever sleep
I'm
on the
learning to play golf.
athleticism.
Just to spite you, unpaid
I'll
bill.
take it. I'll tell you. I'll go with you.
Matter of fact, why don't we all
Let's
I
do
would
it.
love.
Yeah,
I
let's
love
go to
playing
next
golf.
next game night? I'm taking everybody to Top Golf.
I'm going. Let's go.
Yeah, let's start you there. Get a lesson
He said
first.
Top Golf. Okay, I was like, yeah, that's not the same.
No, I want to
But
own.
he could get some. He could
Top
get
Golf.
some.
Yeah.
You know, he could get some swings in,
Yeah.
and not
Drive
because
the
let
car.
me
But it's
tell
also a
you
physical
don't want to-
game. Like,
yeah.
and you cannot play right now in your current condition.
Oh,
right?
absolutely not. Not
Right.
because your back
Ooh,
is. Yeah.
that stance.
No.
I see.
That would not be a good choice
I see.
for this
Okay.
injury.
Well, all right. So a few more what I do rapid fire questions
Okay.
of random things. All right. Can you name me all the non-professional jobs that you used to have?
Okay, I always.
Non-industry
Yes.
related.
So growing up, my grandmother had owned a dry cleaners, and at one point had 2 to 3 of them. Like and so in Chicago, a lot of times in the high rises, you have they have a dry cleaner in
yeah.
the building. So
Always,
she
right.
owned those. So I used to work there every weekend in the summer, every day for my grandmother.
Mhm.
So dry cleaners, copy store,
Okay.
pizza place, taking orders, and waiting tables at this Italian restaurant, and then I used to stuff envelopes for my mother at Chicago State University during certain time during the year. She had to pay somebody, and I did it. I always had a little job.
Okay. Cereal of choice.
And none. I'm not a
Yo,
cereal.
you're not
But
fun.
she said she don't eat in the morning.
I
She said she
know.
don't eat about 12.
Okay, back in the day, it would have been the
Think
frosted
wisely, 'cause-
Wheaties. Frosted Wheaties. I love those things.
Frosted
Frosted
Wheaties.
Wheaties.
I don't think
Frosted
you
mini,
need
yes.
Oh,
Wheaties.
frosted mini
Wheaties.
wheats. Yeah,
Frosted mini
frosted
wheats.
mini
Yeah,
wheats.
yeah.
I love those. I could
You
eat
get
those
so
out the
excited.
box.
That's in my top 10.
I like those.
I rank that number 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, you scared me for a
What's
second.
the-
Okay, I like
Person
it.
doesn't like
What's your
cereal.
Because I
one?
don't like it gets. I have to when I would eat it. Like I don't like to get soggy, so I would have to like put the milk in and eat it real quick while it was still crunchy. It gets all mushy and it's gross and
Okay.
Amir, what's
it's a
your top?
consistency thing.
Oh, dude, I'm peanut butter Captain Crunch all day.
I hate
Wait,
that.
who?
No, crunch
I've
berries.
never
If you're
heard
gonna
of
do a
that.
Captain Crunch, you better do a crunch
Crunch
berry. I don't know
berries.
what you're
What's
talking
the
You
about.
better
puff
eat them with a
rice
mouth
with
guard.
the,
They gonna
with
cut
the
up the top of
sweet-
your mouth. Yeah, them things.
With the Greek eyes?
No, the
They
sugar
hurt your
puff.
mouth.
What is it? The puff rice
Kicks?
with the sugar? No,
Pops, kicks.
Oh, sugar corn pops,
no.
golden crips.
Pops don't
Puff.
taste the same.
What's the name of the
Golden who?
It was
Su-
like
super
sugar
golden
crisp.
crisp.
But not toaster.
Golden crips?
Cinnamon.
No, not no.
Cinnamon
I
Toast
don't like that.
Those
What?
damn Golden
Cinnamon Toast
Crisps.
Crunch.
No.
Yeah, I can
No.
say
I was not a cinnamon toast,
it's
nor
too,
nor a
it's too
cookie.
sweet.
I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
nor a
No.
cookie.
Cookie
person.
Crisp.
The
I
best part of
did
Cinnamon
like.
Toast
I
Crunch
would
was
get
the
Lucky
milk.
Charms, but just eat all the
course,
marshmallow.
marshmallows.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Damn
yeah.
right you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last
Them
night I
also
got
taste too.
so now they've made Fruity Pebbles with marshmallows now.
None of that stuff tastes the
can't
same.
do
These
that.
kids ain't. They
That's
don't
so
know.
I don't
much
like Sour
sugar.
Patch Kids.
It's,
Dang.
it's all
Yeah,
sugar.
it's not the same.
I'm still partial to Fruit Loops. I think Fruit Loops.
Loops
is
is
good.
Oh, yeah?
Like,
Okay, Fruit
they-
Loops.
They be busting.
Apple Jacks.
This
Apple
is
Jacks
back in
bust
the
down
day.
too,
If you're
100%.
asking me now, I'm gonna give you answers from back in the day because my
No,
eating habits have changed. I don't eat cereal
don't
now.
eat
I'm not
cereal.
gonna have a big sugar bomb in the morning.
Damn.
That is
said.
not a
Okay.
good choice to start your day
Salli
off.
Richardson.
Yeah, now she's giving life advice.
Mushrooms are the thing right now. They're
Oh, we
brain
know.
food.
Oh,
No, not magic mushrooms.
I-
That's
Hey,
that's
We're
what
not
Sally,
micro
update
dosing.
us,
We're not
update us.
I'm a
microdosing.
microdoser.
We know.
Yes, I do
I'm just
know
trying to
that.
make
So
y'all
you-
better.
Do you
It's a
do any
superfood.
of that?
Cold meat or nose?
Are you into mushrooms, like drug mushrooms? Not
Drug
Well,
mushrooms
stop
sound
saying
like
drugs.
magic
like
mushrooms.
mushrooms. weed,
Psychedelics
you
are
into-
just a little bit different than
No.
heroin.
No, 100%. Yeah, I'd never fuck with that. But
Drug
mushrooms,
mushrooms.
yeah, let's do it. But so
At this point in my life, of course not.
really,
Well,
I thought you
wait,
were saying
time out.
college. You said yes.
But
Been there, done that, Sally.
It'll help your tailbone.
No,
Trust.
Don't listen to them.
I'm one of those people at this point. I would not like some of the chances I took as a young person.
You're
I
not
would be
changing
like-
horses midstream.
I'm like now I'm like I could get that one crazy high, like something weird that changes my life, and I got responsibilities and kids. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There is nothing. There is no high that I'm chasing. I don't know. I look back at my life and I go, I'm very lucky that nothing crazy happened. So I'm a wrap it up and keep moving.
I also
I
have to remind
have a little
people-
wine and maybe a gummy or something. I don't know.
That's all we were asking
Yeah, we
for.
don't do real
But-
drugs on this show.
We do
Like,
gummies.
You started with mushrooms.
But that ain't a
gummy
real
mushroom.
drug.
That's a psychedelic kind of.
It's
Wait,
a
time
psychedelic.
out.
When we talk about drugs, I'm
We're
talking
not
about like the
talking-
hard shit, like the white shit, like Schedule 2 narcotics. You know what I mean? Like anything
See,
that's
most
like
people,
injected
Welcome
most
to
or
people
whatever.
Questlove
use
Supreme.
that as a party drug. So it's like
What? The
Yeah,
white
but I'm not
stuff?
going to no more parties
we talking about
where
right
I'm
now.
doing
Oh.
mushrooms.
it's
No, it's not happening.
I don't consider
with you.
mushrooms a party drug.
And my
nor weed.
husband's very straight. He's like no drugs. He barely drinks. So
He's busy cleaning the garage.
No, I would
making
be
coffee.
there. I'm organizing
Amir
with him.
pre
Yeah.
2017.
All right,
All
so
right,
how
so-
your coffee? We go since we got coffee. How you do your coffee?
How'd you know I was going to ask that question?
'Cause he
I was
knows
like,
everything.
What is your
So
order at
that's my-
Starbucks? What's your Starbucks order?
She doesn't go to Starbucks. She
I
makes
don't.
it at home.
It's
She
too.
goes,
Oh my God!
too
I got
expensive,
Robert
Sally?
bringing me
I
coffee
wouldn't
that
have
morning.
to-
If
Like,
I
what am I going to
work,
Starbucks
if
for?
I'm on the set and they say we're going to Starbucks, I will ask for two things. I will either say I want Americano with 1 cream, 1 sugar, or I will go, oh, today I'm going to have a little dessert thing. Give me a iced mocha, half chocolate, soy milk. And that would be no whipped cream. That
All
would
right, so
be
what's
my
it at
drink.
home?
At home,
Yeah, how
I
does Dondre
have
hook it up?
so
Dondre does a whole
I
thing.
have
There's
a
like
I have
whole thing.
so he has this mushroom coffee.
It's the best. Me
I'm
too.
into the mushrooms, but I love coffee.
Oh.
So
Wait, why are you
I
looking at me with extra emphasis?
I'm just saying. You asked me about coffee.
Okay.
So I have my coffee. Listen, try this because in the morning this thing will have you moving through your day. So I have my regular big cup of coffee, 10 ounces,
wow.
and I put a tablespoon of the instant mushroom coffee in my coffee.
Okay.
And then
I can vouch for this, by the way. I've
Yeah.
done this.
And then I
mushroom.
use a butter bomb in there that has the coconut oil and
Yeah.
the ghee
Okay.
butter mixture thing. And that's why I don't eat till 1 because that kind
That
of
holds you
carries me
down.
over
Tariq does
through the
that.
day.
Tariq puts a dab of coconut butter
Yeah.
inside of his coffee.
Yeah.
And it's
What does that do?
something.
It,
It's actually.
it's
forget
really
what it
good. It's really good for your mental capacity, energy.
What?
That mixed with the mushroom stuff with it, like I am
It's
moving.
legit.
So wait, what kind of butter was that again? I'm just.
Butter
bu-
bomb.
Butter bomb or coconut.
That's a type. I'm asking
Yeah,
Sally.
but
Why
it's a
y'all
mix-
answering?
But it's a mixture of butter, coconut, and this other something
Yes.
thing.
Butter
in
bombs.
it.
So that's on Amazon. Okay.
Yeah.
I can vouch for this. Tariq put his own
Yeah.
to it. I did it. It actually.
This is,
works.
but this whole mixture with the mushroom in it is
Yeah.
I think is my,
It's like that.
it's my thing. I made it up because I don't want mushroom coffee. I want coffee, and so I was like, I could put it
Sally
all
gets
in one
mad.
drink.
Sally, that's
It
what
would-
it is. It's coffee
And
with
then no
mushroom in it.
yeah.
Why you coming at
Umami
Dondre?
It would actually. It would
but
actually
he
be.
don't drink coffee.
Oh, so you thinking he don't know? Okay.
No, the mushroom, because it's a mushroom coffee. I add the mushroom coffee powder into my
To his
regular
coffee.
coffee
Yeah.
with the butter thing and no sugar.
The
Yeah, I
things
was
you
going to
learn.
say that had. She's correct. If coffee was really my jam, I'm one of these people. I'm not. Wow, we're talking about coffee, Steve. You have not weighed in yet.
I'm thinking about snorting Rice Krispies.
He's still thinking about his mushrooms
Like
and the
when I
drink.
think of Starbucks, like my Christmas gift to Steve is always like. You probably still have like your. You probably ran out already.
Yeah,
I
tell
don't
me
know.
that
Gift cards with it.
gold Starbucks card or something that lasts
Yeah, it's like-
forever.
It's almost like a lifetime supply of it. All right, for Halloween, what is your costume?
Oh, wait, we're already off this? All right, shit. Okay.
Oh,
go.
we're still
You
talking about
found it?
coffee?
No,
looking at butter
I'm
bomb.
obsessed, but let's talk about Halloween. I'm into
Okay.
it.
The last Halloween that we went to
Yes.
was a dress up as your, because people were performing on stage too and doing a thing. So I went as Vanity.
Wow.
Yes, you
Yeah.
did.
I went as
That's a
Vanity. I wore her little outfit, you know.
And you sang Nasty Girl?
I was going to, and then I chickened out.
But wait, which Vanity out from the actual movie you talking
No,
about?
Vanity Vanity 6.
Oh, from the video. Oh.
And so I rented a tuxedo jacket, and I had on
The
the little
tails?
lingerie and the heels.
The boots? All right.
That's how I went.
That's so dope.
Nice.
What he wear?
That's how it went.
Because
so
I
do you
just
go
knew.
karaoke like at all?
No.
You started out as a singer.
But I don't like karaoke. It's not my thing.
I also
Okay.
don't like
Because you go and then it's not in the key you need to be. I'm judging. It's like it's too no.
Those
No.
songs are always higher than you think.
They're always
Listen.
higher
Like,
than you think.
like any Bon Jovi song ever, you're like, I got this shit, and then
Yep.
you get to
Yeah,
the
that
chorus,
book come
and
in.
then you get to the chorus of Blaze of Glory, and you're like, I don't got this
No.
shit. No.
You get to
And then
living
they
on a
give you
prayer.
this book like this. I can't make a
Yeah,
choice.
the book is it's like a
Yeah.
cheesecake factory.
No,
menu.
I
It's like
can't.
all
It
these
is.
fucking just thick as hell.
Absolutely.
It's a lot going on.
I'm
Just
not-
go with Wham.
I'm not
get the
into
lettuce
people
wraps
judging
and,
me.
Okay.
Okay.
So for you, all right. For me, I discovered that I have to go back to me as a 9, 10, 11-year-old and discover fun for that person. For you, what is your one? Do you allow yourself to ever become an 11-year-old at this stage in your life? And what is it that you do for fun? Do you play Monopoly when no one's watching? Do you watch Tom and Jerry?
You play spades.
Am I really making you uncomfortable right now?
Well, because I'm thinking of my whole life is going. I'm going. Maybe I'm not doing enough things for fun.
For your fun.
We do play spades.
Okay.
How many books? No, please.
We do play spades. I don't know if I'm doing that all the time, but we used to. A lot of things I used to do, like Dondre and I used to be in a bowling league. We used to bowl a lot.
Okay.
And golf more than he would say. I'm not playing much golf anymore. I started getting too into work.
Okay.
So I might. You may be telling me I need to have more fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because
No.
usually, no.
These are just random questions.
But you're not. This is a hard question for me to answer. It would usually be getting together. We have sort of a couples group. We all go out to dinner, and it's really hanging out with them and going to dinner. But that doesn't sound like that much fun. We're vacationing together, but it doesn't sound that exciting.
You know something though?
That
Like
sounds fun.
I'm also I
Good
discovered
friends.
I discovered the joys of silence. You know.
I'm kind of, you know
I'll
how
just
they
talk to you.
say, I would rather be at home, sitting up in my house is
about it.
comfortable. We have a nice little area outside. I can watch a TV outside and sit there and be with my husband and with my dogs and chill.
Okay.
You know.
Do you have a guilty pleasure in terms of food, or like we talked about all the healthy stuff that
Yeah.
you do? What's like your, when you just want to go to the abyss? Like, what's the worst thing you eat? Like you ever buzz down a quarter pounder like 3 in the morning?
LL today wanted cheeseburgers.
Yeah, he
man,
wanted
he was
cheeseburgers,
like,
yeah.
I just fucking eat cheeseburgers.
Yeah. What's ratchet, Salli Richardson?
I think.
Ratchet Richardson.
I
these
think
are
it would
called?
be
Yeah.
some because for a long time I was like vegan, vegetarian.
Okay.
I've just started eating some meat sometimes now, so I think it would be some pizza and wings, something like that.
Lemon
And-
pepper?
Huh?
Lemon pepper wing?
No, I want spicy.
You want the
spi-
heat on
I
it?
want, I
Okay.
want hot. Yeah.
Right.
I've been enjoying some
Harold's?
some
You do
chicken.
it, Harold?
Ooh.
Let's talk about it.
And which Hurley? Which Hurley do you go
There you go.
Which Hurley?
There you go.
Hurley? Finally
Nah, that
broke
hit a
through.
nerve right there.
We
She was like,
cracked
hold
it.
up.
God.
She thought about that mild sauce. She was like, oh shit,
I'm
hold
literally
on.
in
What
my
are you
brain
talking
like
about? What? I'm sorry. I'm telling you the truth.
we're a very silly show.
No.
I've been.
You have
We're
been. though.
very serious about mushrooms and
No, I said we're a very
Barbecuing.
silly show.
Oh,
You've
yeah,
been
yeah.
asking me serious shit. What you want? I'm giving you serious answers.
Okay.
That's
But
true.
ooh,
So what's your Harold's order?
okay, my Harold's. It's been a long time, but my Harold's order would be.
And say it like you at the counter because.
Okay, well, I got to think about it because I remember I liked.
Harold's is
I-
my chicken heaven in Chicago.
So you would get it's like a fried chicken plate, and then there's French fries on it and some white bread, and so I always get, like what is that, like half a chicken or something? I don't remember what. But I like the barbecue sauce and the hot
And the hot.
sauce all over it,
get
and yeah, so like half
The
chicken
kind of place
and
that serves
yeah.
white bread with it. Yeah.
Yes.
I get
No,
it.
it has to be white bread.
It's got to be, yeah.
It has to be
Or
white bread.
ooh, in
roll.
Chicago, ooh, rib tips.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Chicago South Side.
Yes.
That is the city of rib tips. Rib tips and white bread,
never heard that.
white Wonder Bread and
Uh-huh.
some French fries.
I'm
Rib
so
tips.
glad you're here because it's been a while since we had a Chicago guest on the show. You got to explain some things to me.
Okay.
Number one,
Here we go.
what's up with y'all and this anti-ketchup on hot dog thing?
That's you know what? I like ketchup on my hot dog.
Same here.
But
too.
yeah, because you get when you go get a Chicago hot dog, it's a pickle, these peppers and mustard
And they kick you
onions.
out the restaurant sometimes if you put ketchup on it or like
If
laugh
you
you out the
if you
restaurant.
ordered a Chicago dog,
It's an
yeah,
insult to them.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I like ketchup on
so,
my hot dog.
please.
But I think that's more of a white thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Defend your pizza.
it's fantastic.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
Oh my God, the way she looked
I
at me
used
right
to
now.
work at a pizza place. I used to work at Eduardo's, which is like really thick pizza.
Well, not to totally alienate an entire part of our listenership, I will just.
But let me tell you,
Could you recommend good, better spots in Chicago? 'Cause-
okay, so honestly, on the what do not remember the name of this. There's a place on like really south side because my mom lives out like in the
You
south
said
suburbs.
really south side. I'm like, nope, I'm good.
No, well, because
Should have interned there.
because she lives out like in the south suburbs now. But it's a thinner pizza that they have, but there is a different taste to the sauce and the pizza in Chicago. Oh God, I wish I.
It's in the water.
As opposed to
It
New York
is.
City.
No, because yours is super thin, okay, right?
Yeah.
The New York pizza is its own thing. It's fantastic. But there is a thinner crust pizza in Chicago
Oh, okay.
that has like the sausage pizza with the grease in it and the taste of that sauce is, I think maybe it's neighborhood pizza or something. It is you would love that pizza. If you don't like thick crust, fine, but you would love that pizza. I would put that pizza
And
on
what's
the
the name
south.
of the spot in?
I'm a text my mother before I leave here and find out the name of this pizza place. I would put that against a slice of New York pizza.
Okay.
'Cause
no,
it's
I
not-
don't have any.
You don't have any
I
skin in the
just,
game.
I just have to live in New York, but I
You don't
haven't
have any
claimed
skin-
it as my
okay,
home.
Okay.
But I'm testing out their pizzas. But
New York wins.
That you know what? Okay, so now besides Harold's, that pizza in Chicago, that kind of thin crust one with that grease and that Italian sausage, that and Chicago Chinese food
Okay.
is because
Yeah,
they
they
don't.
do kinda
Chicago Chinese food is obviously that's what I grew up on, but like some egg foo young from some shrimp egg
Midwest,
foo
yeah,
young.
they-
It's
yeah.
a whole different Chinese.
What's
I came
the
out
Philly
here.
Chinese place we went to that one night?
David Wong, I tried David Wong's last night.
Yeah.
They came back.
Dude,
I was
that
losing hope.
changed my life. As a Jew who loves Chinese food, well, for whatever reason, that moment and that night. that
David
was a
Wong.
long
Is
night.
it
Changed my
fancy
life.
Chinese or is it
No,
like
it's
in
not.
a?
It's not hood. It's not hood. It's but it's not fancy. But it's not hood. But they've mastered the art of salt and pepper chicken wings.
Ah, okay.
And
You remember?
yes,
My test is always egg foo young and shrimp with lobster sauce. If it tastes a certain way, if it's not right, then your restaurant ain't right.
Philadelphia is a salt and pepper chicken.
Our whole audience.
That's like two
is-
dishes of what is probably like
starving
1,000
here.
dishes, but you go for those
two
two.
dishes
All right.
are big staples in a Chicago Chinese restaurant. You
Okay.
should be able to make egg foo young and
I feel like you're about to
shrimp with
fight me,
lobster
Sally.
sauce. I'm just saying.
I love it when that's the Chicago. I seen that one night. I was at a
Yeah,
random
that's how
dinner
I
and I
live
seen.
it.
I said, "Ooh,
You should have
yes.
you should have had some alcohol here. I might have been a different person.
Yeah.
Lesson."
Let's meet back here tomorrow.
Yeah, usually. Same bad time.
Meet us tomorrow for part 2 of Salli Richardson.
That was a
Sponsored
huge
by
like.
Crown Royal.
I have a few more random questions.
You have to ask me
Yes.
about Gilded real quick, so I can tell you about the. Oh, see, you
I
didn't listen.
did.
Okay, you kind of did. It's a great season. It'll be fantastic.
No, what more would you like to speak on?
No, I
Gilded?
just want people. It's about to come out,
Yeah.
and
I watched
what
those
I
first
want to
3
tell tell for my black audience.
Yes, come on, because we be
all
watching
I want,
for you.
All I want to say, who were hungry for more of Peggy.
Yes.
And the black elite.
She's not going to get
But
hurt when she goes to the South.
I'm
You
not
promise
telling
us?
you none of that, but she
Spoiler
does.
alerts.
Yeah, be
We're
quiet.
only in episode 3.
But she does go. But I can say that she goes to meet Booker T. Washington, so she does go to Tuskegee. But you get to see more of that.
Okay.
Because people were hungry for it, because it was just a taste of. Obviously, the show's not about that.
Right.
But so I just wanted to say that. Because people have been everywhere I go, people are like, "When's he coming back? Are we going to see more Peggy?" And yes, you are, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, Peggy's
Okay.
kind of great.
Well, that
right.
just totally paled my next question.
No,
You're
go,
like,
go
what's your
ahead.
favorite
It was one of those
sneaker?
randoms.
You can ask me a random. I just wanted to give people keep asking me, so I wanted to tell. Go ahead.
No. I want to now just stay in Gilded because I'm afraid to get off this.
No, I interrupted you.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
One
I
random
want to know.
gilded.
I
Can I
want
just ask one
another.
random gilded question that's
Yes.
not deep?
Okay.
Do y'all put a little something extra funky on those clothes on the wardrobe at Gilded?
They spent a lot of money on those.
Because it seems, I mean, it's 1800, but it's still
It's too
funky.
often.
It's still
No,
too.
the
no, it's
designer Kasha
dope.
is brilliant.
like
She
fly.
is this French woman. She is brilliant. They are all handmade. But obviously the ones for the actors, for the main actors, they're all handmade for each of them. They are made with the most beautiful fabric. The hats it's all about the hats this year.
I saw that in with the flowers and them.
It's just that's what I enjoyed so much in directing it was like, oh, if she showed me a special piece, I'm like, don't worry, baby, we're gonna see.
We're going to see you. Yeah. The clothes are awesome.
Come on, I asked you a shallow question. Go ahead.
Wow.
Wow. Shallow half.
It's like Jerry Springer on the screen. Sally's
No.
getting crazy. It's 7:10 on a Monday.
I wanted-
Look the fuck out. Here comes
I
Sally.
kind of wanted to end it on a rather apropos question. What would you tell
Oh Lord.
your 7-year-old self right now?
Shallow shit.
See, they should have warned you about this show. No. See, and some guests are a little thrown off because, yeah, I mean, we could do the normal thing like, hey, what are you plugging? But I want to get to know the person,
I think
behind the projects. What would you tell your 7-year-old self right now?
Whew.
Like you're given 2 minutes to time travel back to you at the age of 7, and your parents didn't.
I think it really is one of those like you will make it through this.
Okay.
You will make it through this, and I always say, and it's gonna be okay. Like it's really you're gonna make it through this. You're gonna make it through this. Yeah.
That's great. Any last?
Yes. Oh, what is it like to direct Audra
Do I need a
McDonald?
lawyer right now,
Okay, I'm
Bill?
sorry. No, this is my last question, gilded question. What is it like? I'm gonna say it one more time to direct Audra McDonald.
She's one of those people. There's not much to do because she's brilliant and she's kind and nice and easy and everything you would hope from someone who's that talented. Like there's no issues. And if I didn't, if that wasn't true, then I would have given you a quick, easy answer. So,
That's good. Okay.
yeah, she's a good lady.
Well, my future mentor, Salli Richardson-Whitfield.
Are you coming and shadowing? You ready?
Oh, you thought I was bullshit?
And then I'll come and talk to you about documentary work.
Ooh.
Ooh, it's like a round table.
Come on now.
I have to choose 3. The company I'm working for wants me to shadow 3 directors. And I'm not in the space where, even though I know some of the big, like, I don't want to follow Scorsese around, like, I want to, someone that I'm comfortable with.
Yes.
And shadow them. So
They probably wouldn't think about no black woman neither, so.
you right, and you seem to check all the your level of preparedness is what.
And when we get off of here, I can talk to you more.
Okay, fine. Well, I thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much for having me. I was very
Yeah.
excited when you guys called. Thank you.
Thank you for putting your touch on my favorite show.
Okay.
Nah, straight up.
And on behalf of Fontigolo and Unpaid Bill and Sugar Steve and Laia, this is Questlove. Thank you, Salli Richardson-Whitfield, for coming on the show, and we'll see you on the next go-round of Questlove Supremo. All right.